Hey everyone, so tonight I'm going to do a quick little rundown again on our 2020 Trek Domane SL5s. This is the same bike I did a little walkthrough review on this spring, but since then we put on at least a little over 1,000 extra miles or say this past summer on these bikes. So I thought I'd do a little follow-up on what we like, don't like, what worked, what hasn't worked on these bikes, and go from there. So starting out, the first thing is kind of the little seat adjustment thing here. Alright, so one of our complaints that we've had with this bike is that this little Allen bolt here for adjusting your saddle height, it's tucked into the seat tube here. It's kind of deep. I know I'm sticking my finger in something saying deep on my wife's bike. Don't get any dirty thoughts. But it's kind of in there a little ways. And most of our torque wrench bits have a hard time getting in there that deep without rubbing on this little cutout here that they have. Yeah. So this is our main torque wrench. It's a Husky torque wrench. And I can't remember what these bits are that we got for it. But yeah, standard bits. This in here has a bit of a shoulder though before it goes down, and that shoulder is kind of wide and it wants to rub on the side of that little cutout there when you have it in there to adjust your saddle height. So yeah, it actually has marred the paint just a little bit, just the way that shoulder is. So trying to find something that's that long, that narrow, and that can go to 7 Newton meters, which is the recommended torque for this. Having a little difficulty with that. Okay, we also have this Park torque wrench, Park tool. This one here does work on there. As you can see, it just barely gives you enough. This one only goes to 6 Newton meters, recommended to 7 Newton meters. So it really is that 1 Newton meter, wherever that comes out to, really going to cause your saddle to slip in there? Probably not. So we've been using this one, just putting it at that 6 and torquing it to there because it gives you just barely enough room to get in there and torque that bolt. You definitely have to be careful with carbon. Don't want to over torque anything because you can break it. Kind of like, you know, how I set our bikes up here on the repair stand. I put the frame in and everything, close it, and then I just turn it till it's snug, because I don't want to do anything that would over torque that, over compress it, and cause something to break. So yeah, definitely one of those things to be mindful with carbon frames when you're searching for aluminum. Even some aluminum tubes in a repair stand or a torque wrench or torquing down a bolt. You just have to be mindful not to overdo it and crush something, because that would be a bad day. One of the things that we really do think is pretty cool about these bikes is how the Bontrager Flare RT Lite is integrated into whatever the hell you call that on your seat post, the little, I don't know, whatever you call it. But anyways, yeah, it's kind of cool. It just clicks right on, comes off nice and easy. Little lever there, cam for it. One thing though that does make it a little difficult is the button to activate it, turn it on and off, is on top. My wife's saddle has a cutout though, so you can just easily hit it. I know I'm very forgetful, so sometimes when I start a ride I forget to turn it on, so I usually have to stop when we get down the block, hop off, and kind of get my finger down in there and get it to turn on. If I had a button on the side, that'd make that a lot easier, but that's just me being forgetful. But yeah, they're really nice and handy, good light, really visible, and it's just really slick how it just, yeah, clips right on there. We've ridden our bikes on some pretty rough and bumpy, washboarded out gravel roads, some ATV trails, even a little single track with these road bikes. Never had a problem with the light popping off or anything. I mean, they are locked on there really good. And they're really visible. I mean, really, really, really visible. Nice, clean, everything. So that's something that we've really liked about these bikes. Yes, how the Bontrager Flare RT Lite is just, it's just integrated in there really nice. Okay, now this is just me being nitpicky for the sake of being nitpicky. Trek started putting in this really cool little cutout area here. So you have some internal frame storage for repair kit stuff. If they had their tolerances just a little bit better for this, that'd be awesome. Because it has just the slightest little wiggle to it. It just kind of annoys me just the slightest little bit. But it's pretty firm, pretty solid. Never had a problem with it coming open on a ride. Never had a problem with water or anything getting in there. Never lost a bottle due to it wiggling. But I just feel like it could lock down a little bit better. I mean, it opens up. Nice storage area. If you look inside, it's going to be really hard to film, but there's a little spot in here that feels like it could hold a CO2 cartridge. Don't put a CO2 cartridge in there. It's not for a CO2 cartridge. I put one in thinking, hey, this is cool. It's the perfect diameter for storing a CO2. And there's nothing on the bottom, and the CO2 just fell out. Got stuck down here on the bottom. So I had to spend a little time holding the frame upside down, shaking it, and trying to get the CO2 cartridge back out of here. But yeah, if they could have this just a little bit snugger, a little bit tighter, that'd be pretty cool. Just the tiniest little bit of wiggle there. But that's just me being nitpicky. And tonight I'm drinking Founders Brewery, or not Founders, Revolution Brewery. Everyday Hero. Fun little microbrewery out of Chicago. Yeah, Revolution Brewery. Check them out if you can. Good stuff. I like their fist logo. Having a revolution. Go vote. So, as you can see, dollar for dollar, these are a pretty good bike. Only thing really that it may be changing is the slightly tighter tolerances with the little box locking mechanism, and redesign the whole seat tube thing just a little bit, nothing major. Having clearance for a slightly larger tire would be nice, you know, considering that the Domanes have the anti-vibration system built into the head tube here and into the seat stay. So having that slightly wider tire clearance in addition to having that vibration dampening would be really nice. You can get a checkpoint, which takes a wider tire. They're a gravel specific bike, but the checkpoints in the 2020s at least didn't have the vibration dampening in them. But otherwise, yeah, they're pretty good bikes. My wife has really enjoyed hers. I've really enjoyed mine. Haven't had any major issues or anything. No malfunctions with any of the components. She had 2 flat tires and I've had 1. She said 2 flats on her Rene Hurst Barlow Pass tires. I had 1 on the stock tires in the past. Almost 2,000 miles total on these bikes, so really not too bad. And the 1 flat she had, it was a brand new tire, first ride with it. Hit a piece of something in the road and just sliced it really good. Nothing you can do there. But otherwise, yeah, really great bikes, really enjoy them, and we're really looking forward to putting a lot more miles on them in the years ahead. Thanks, and have a good one.